Hmm. Hi, sister. Um, I didn't want to be making a video, but there is something I've just found out. Wow. Um, Much bigger than the other day, much bigger than the revelation about Paz being the King of Kings. Um, Two reasons I'm here now, and I'm trying to keep it as short as possible, not just because it takes ages to upload, but because it's nice to share this. And it will reveal itself. So, firstly, I have the book I'm reading, which is The Origins of Demonology. As you know, I started reading it and it came up with, the origin of Pazuzu as being the entity of the four cardinal points north, south, east, and west. And there's another chapter, obviously, where I saw the Akati stuff for you. And there is also the next chapter, which I just started today, which was Abrahamic demonology. Um, so let me take you back to when I was at the flat, and I can't think exactly how many years ago it was. I know it was when I just started the spiritualist church, and I was at the beginners, development circles. And when I was at the flat, I had my very first spiritual message. And I knew it was a spiritual message because it was just a sentence that was just super fast. And I went, oh, okay, I'll write that down. I wrote it down. And at the time, well, I'll say what the message was and I can instantly recall it. So I know it's a spiritual message, okay? So it said, I'm not going to spend the rest of my life playing judge and jury. Samuel. And I wrote it down and I went, okay, Samuel. What's Samuel? Well, it's not really a modern name. Is that biblical? Samuel, I'm sure Samuel. Something in the Bible with Samuel. So it just so happened that Karen used to open the door to Jehovah's Witnesses. And one day she had a Jehovah's Witness Bible. And I knew it was in the cupboard. It was under the eating cupboard. And it was stored under there. And I got the Bible out and I found the book of Samuel. And I remember just going through it and finding a certain part of the story where there's a psychic that is sought after and she gives, evidence of spirit. It's that part within the Bible where you see like a psychic is mentioned, a seer, a sort of direct communication to the other side. And I thought, at the time, okay, it's mentioned, mediumship in the Bible. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for that message. It's probably a little bit of guidance. These people are mentioned in the Bible, so you know, you it's just a bit of confirmation that what I'm doing is right from the Book of Samuel. How wrong I was, and I guess it's been deliberate because I guess now today, it has been revealed what exactly it was given to me for. And you are my sister, and I share with you very confidential information that I wouldn't share with anybody else. But more importantly, you explained yesterday about being an overseer and the vital importance of that and where it is as regards position. Wow, sister, I'm just going to share with you now something mind blowing. Not the information, just where it's put me position wise, where they are considering me position wise. So, the reason I bought the book is because there is an article, the article. So we are talking about opposition. You know, we're talking about Hasatan. So, of course, Hasatan in the Old Testament was, of course, in the book of Job, the book of Zechariah, and it illustrates that the Hasatan at the time was not a fallen angel, because in the book of Enoch and the book of Job and the book of Zechariah, the Hasatan goes to heaven to talk to God or to plead with God, or to. So therefore, if he went into heaven to talk to God, he wasn't a fallen angel. So we all know that Hasatan as in the Old Testament. Now, I got to a paragraph, and I'll read it out. And it's the Chronicler's crucial shift. Okay? And it's in Chronicles 21:1. Get ready. Remember I said, I'm not going to spend the rest of my life playing judge and jury. Samuel. This text marks a watershed moment. A watershed moment. The account of King David's sinful senses contrasts sharply with its parallel source. The parallel source is Samuel 24:1. In Samuel, the census is instigated by God's anger against Israel, positioning God as the direct cause of the subsequent plague. The chronicler, writing later, revises this as Satan stood up against Israel and incited David to number Israel. This theological revision is critical. It introduces Satan as an independent instigator of sin, externalizing the source of evil and preserving God's moral perfection and holiness. It is the clearest canonical marker of the shift from the subservient Hasatan to a malevolent, autonomous tempter. Wow. So, my first message wasn't about the psychic. It was given at that precise point of scripture in which Satan is then not the Hasatan of earlier belief, but that very point in which he's reborn, if you like, he's rebirthed as, like they say, an independent instigator of evil and sin. That was given to me years back, and obviously this is all, as we know, me buying the book, it's all been led, hasn't it? It's all been spiritually programmed and organised. But yeah, I just cannot believe that. So I'm not my very first spiritual message, I'm not given, anything within lower realms or anything. We can look at the vast amount of demons within Osgoatia, King Solomon. We can look at, Greek. We can look at Egyptian. We can even look at Mesopotamian. But like I say, in the Abrahamic texts, my God, even as I was just starting my path of awareness, Spirit intervened and obviously gave me that exact points on the Bible. It's a big book. There's lots of paragraphs, there's lots of chapters, there's lots of things written by other people. It fucking went straight for the bullseye and give me that. But of course, I've been prepared, so obviously that's been revealed now. At the point that I'm now ready to deal with it. But even then, even today, it's not the information that's blowing my mind, it's just what I've just described. It's incredible to give the fundamental, the exact precise source by which Satan became what he is today, by which everybody in some way keeps still mentioned today. Satanism. Wow. And that's something I can use, of course, isn't it? You know, the knowledge of the Satan as the almost angelic being, and in the Old Testament, and now that precise point, Book of Samuel. I hope you like that. We'll both fuck off now and do our own thing. We'll both go and study. Do you know what, sister? Honestly, I might pray tonight to be dyslexic the next day. Honestly, I'll show you. This is about page 19. It's probably backwards. You can see it's on page 19. I've only 20 pages in the fucking thing, and I've had 2 absolute brainstormers at the moment. And let me just look. It's fucking 177 pages. I'm going to have a fucking stroke by about halfway through it, honestly. If there's any more comes out of this. But it's 12 minutes, sister, as usual. Wish you the greatest of days. Cheer up, okay? I didn't say a prayer last night, but I said it when you were messaging me, as I said. I fell asleep in the chair in the front room last night, and so I was in half asleep going to bed. But yeah, you'll be in thought. I will do a prayer if I'm still conscious going to bed tonight. Yeah, please cheer up. Like we say, nature, yeah, it can be cruel. But yeah, have a great day. Enjoy the lists. Enjoy the journey. I look forward to whatever you get from here on now. So, as I always do. So, lots of love and light to you all. And yeah, we'll speak soon, sister. Bye-bye for now.